Alright folks, welcome back. So, it's a big old barn.
These are just getting stacked up.
Don't know how these fir trees are staying up. That one's leaning a bit more every time. Alright, so it's Monday 14th of February. This is a good thing about this camera. This is a DJI camera. I haven't used it for a week or two. You turn it on, it's still on 98% battery, whereas the old GoPro, that would have been flat after half an hour. But well, the pond's got a bit of water in it. We had about 20 mil of rain at the weekend, so she's got a bit of water in there. Right, so we're still busy loading out grain. Yeah, I'm loading wheat right now. We've got a couple of loads going today, a couple tomorrow. I think we've got oats going as well this week. But yeah, keeps us busy in the winter. And it's also nice to get it all shifted, or at least most of it shifted, before we get busy with spring work. Because once we started drilling and fertilising and things like that, we don't really want to be loading grain lorries. I'm trying to run over a builder. It's pretty tight in the yard at the moment with all the building work going on, things like that. But yeah, we shall make do with what we got. But yeah, the only thing that's left here is wheat. I've got a bit coming out the spout as well. There's a bit left in the bin, so I've got that running at the same time. Update on the old barn. They're taking down the walls. They seem to be dismantling it, to be honest, and then they're going to rebuild it. I think we're going to be knocking the hedge trimming job on the head for the winter very soon, because the ground's wet and we've done all the important hedges on the farm. Come on, Eric. The ground's wet and the forecast isn't looking very good, and I've got a load of workshop jobs that need doing before the spring work starts, which, looking at the fields, won't be for a little while. This is it's quite heavy clay up here. It's a bit of a wet patch. I came round here with the tractor last week and trimmed this hedge. But like I say, yeah, I've done all the important hedges. I've done all the road hedges. Come on, Eric. I've just got this little saw out. I'm gonna have a play with it. I've not used it yet. Well, I've not used it properly. There's a few bits and pieces along here that want chopping. So yeah, it's nice now that the sun's out. There's a bit of wind, but the forecast isn't looking very good for the week. So along here I'm going to chop a few branches off, and then there's a load of these old vines and old man's beard and things like that need chopping off. Come on, Eric. Eric, come on. There's a road out there, so this stuff, look. What is this? See these vines, look. There we go. The saw is going to be perfect for things like that. But yeah, what else we got going on? Grain lorries. There's supposed to be a whole load of oats going this week. We've still got a little bit of wheat left, which you probably saw in the shed. And I'm going to chop off some of these battered branches that have been hit by the hedge trimmer. Come on, Eric, don't wander off. Yeah, see, like these little branches here, look, they've been hit by the hedge trimmer, so I'll just chop them off, and then hopefully the tree can put its energy into growing up and out of the way, rather than putting energy into growing on these branches. Come on. Let's chop through that, alright. It's a bit tricky with one hand though. It is supposed to be a one-handed tool, but if you want to put a bit more pressure on it, you can put a hand there, look. Two-handed that way. But it's a little bit tricky with a camera in your hand. Spiky. Spiky, spiky. We chop this off here, look. Oh no. What? Put it along here, it'll get chopped up with the topper. When I come along here with the topper, it'll get minced up. This has got a 12-volt battery on it, unlike most Milwaukee stuff runs on 18 volts. Yeah, this is 12 volt. I've got a spare battery in my pocket. 6 amp hour. Got a little oil reservoir there, look, for chain lube. We got I don't know where we go. Got some more of these vines. I think it's called old man's beard, what grows on the end of there, all this stuff, look. And it's a right pain in the bum. Gets all wrapped round everything. All these branches, they all get in the way of the hedge trimmer. This tree's not very good anyway, is it? I don't know what it is. It doesn't look very healthy. Alright, so I've made a bit of a mess. Tidied up the trees, made a mess on the floor. And now I'm going to go and get back in the tractor because it's starting to rain. Thought it was supposed to be a dry day today. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to take the tractor back to the other farm and that'll be, I think that's pretty much it for hedge cutting now. Like I said before, the ground's getting too wet. Everything on the tracks and the roads is done. I might just do a bit more on this one. Oh yeah, the other thing I like about this is you can use it in this hand, look. And then you can also put it in this hand as well. So it's ambidextrous.
Across the road. Quite good.
Alright, the lorry's gone now. And what I'm doing is I'm going to put some wheat in the reception pit where the grain trailers tip in the harvest. I'm going to fill that up and get about 22 tonne in there. I'll show you. But yeah, because there's only one more load of wheat going this week, which is tomorrow. And I need to take this JCB back to the other farm, back to farm 1. We're at farm 2 at the moment. So yeah, we can get 22 tonne in the pit, which I will just show you in a moment. And then I can, there's a little bit left in a bin, which I can put out the spout. But also I can put the bucket on the 3350 and scoop a bit more out of the barn and tip it in this pit as it's loading the lorry through the spout. Right, there we go, that's the last bucket. It's filled up, ready to go. You can tell it's 4 o'clock. 1 minute there was like, see this horrible clay, look. That's what's underneath the ground up here. They're going to put an electric cable. They're burying that cable, look. That's why they dug a trench. Yeah, 1 minute there was like 12, 15 blokes. Builders up here. 4 o'clock comes, they've scattered. They've put, oh you can't see it. Yeah, I was just going to see if there's anything interesting to show on the camera in here. They've had to take all the walls down. They're going to rebuild them all. It's a listed building, so that's why it's getting renovated, because it needs to be looked after and yeah, looked after and kept in its original condition. There's a lot of scaffolding in there. I don't know if they're taking the roof down or not and rebuilding that, but it's all oak frame. The old blue sheet isn't going to last much longer, I don't think. They dug a trench out here, look, and they're going to fill it with concrete tomorrow. It's like clay over chalk. Come on, Eric. It's a big old barn. No, not much to show you. They filled in all the holes in the floor. There used to be, because this used to be an old grain store, and there used to be bins in here and holes in the ground where the conveyors and things like that were in the ground, but they filled all that in with concrete. There was a reception pit here for tipping grain up in the harvest. Right, I'm going to go and get on with... Actually, I'm going to go and walk the dog. Give the dog a quick walk. So I'm still at the farm. I'm not sure if I've said before, but you see the house down there, look. There's some cottages down there. That's where I grew up. And if you look at this, Dad showed me this photograph earlier. On that stone there is my dad on the left and my Uncle Tim on the right, because my dad also grew up on this farm and lived there all his life. And yeah, I'm not sure if you can see, just to the left of my dad there's a little tree, and that is now that big tree. Yeah, and then you can see the pond in the background. I'll show you a different picture now. This is another picture of when the tree was a little bit bigger, and then there's the big rock at the bottom of it. That rock, I'll get out and show you. Yeah, the same stone is still right here, look. It doesn't say on the picture how old it is, but a fair few years old. Yeah, so hopefully they'll, as you can see there, look, the pond was looking lovely and neat. So hopefully they'll manage to get it looking somewhere nearly as neat as that again. Right, so there's no date on this picture either, but I'm pretty much parked exactly where that photograph was taken, and that's my granddad right there. He worked on the farm as well. And yeah, as you can see, the farm looks a little bit different. When my granddad died in 2001, we actually planted that tree there, look, in remembrance of the old man. Put my windscreen wiper on, it's starting to rain. It looks like the council have been out mowing verges in February, which seems a bit ridiculous considering there's nothing to mow. But you can't, when in May and June, when the grass on the side of the roads is like 2 foot tall, you can't see a thing, and they don't come out and mow it. But for some reason, February they're out mowing them. Right, morning folks, Tuesday morning, and we're going to load some oats at farm 1. So we've got to take the boards out though, so that's why I got the pallet forks on. Pretty well heaped up in there, and we're going to let it go. It is due to start raining in a minute, so we'll get a shift on. There's another one coming in a minute. Pallet forks need widening out. Alright folks, welcome back. It's nearly the end of the week now. As you can see, I've had a haircut. So, I had a haircut on Tuesday, so I don't look quite as scruffy anymore. But look a bit tidier. And as you can probably see by looking at the heap of oats, we've loaded quite a few lorries now. We're getting back into the shed a bit more. I've got a load in. I've got half a bin full as well here at the farm. So once we get back into the shed even more, I shall run the oats that are in the bin all through the conveyor and out the spout into the shed and then load them with a bucket. These oats aren't weighing too badly. It mainly depends on how big the bulker is really on the lorry. Depending on how much weight you get on. Some of them you can only get 25 ton on, some of them you can get 28.5. It just depends how big the bulker is. So I get quite a few questions from people asking if my family owns the farm, and the answer is no, they don't, unfortunately. The person that does own the farm owns all 3 farms, and and we just work for the owner on the farm. I mentioned earlier on in the video that my granddad worked on the farm, but he only worked at farm 2. He worked for the previous owner of farm 2, and then when the current owner, my boss, bought farm 2, my granddad retired, and my dad was already working on the farm, so my dad carried on working on the farm. We lived at farm 2. We carried on living at farm 2. Actually, no, I wasn't even born then. I wasn't even born when the current owner bought farm 2. I think he bought the farm 2 in 1983. So like I said, my dad carried on working for the new owner, which is still the current owner, and he worked right on the farm from leaving school up until full time until 2 years ago, I think, and he's now retired. But he keeps coming back to help out occasionally. He comes and helps out quite a bit in the harvest and things like that. But when I left school, I went off to college and done agriculture and ag engineering. And then when I left college, I went to work for an ag engineer for 2.5 years, maybe nearly 3 years, I think it was. Gained loads of experience on the spanners, really enjoyed it. But then I realised that I preferred driving tractors rather than fixing them. So I went and worked on a farm over Guildford Way actually. Went and worked over there for 2 or 3 years. And then when my dad started slowing down here, couldn't do quite so much of the arable all by himself, and Simon used to do the combining. So basically Simon gave up the combining and Dad gave up the drilling and things like that, and it then meant that there was a full-time job here for me. So I came back basically, and I've now been here for 8 years full-time. But even as a teenager, I was always here helping on the farm and that all the time. So I've kind of been here on and off all my life. I'm pretty sure my dad said that my great-granddad, he was actually a shepherd. So there is livestock in my blood a little bit, mainly arable. And then my uncle Tim, who you saw in the picture, sat next to my dad when they were boys. He didn't really have any interest in farming. He was actually in the Navy for 25 years, something like that. I'm just doing a bit of yard maintenance, putting some clean tarmac planings on the edge of this yard here because it's getting a bit muddy and it's getting on the back wheel tyres of the JCB when I'm loading the lorries. Because I'm loading the lorries out of that shed there, look. I'm also trying to build up enthusiasm to go and wash the hedge trimmer because I'm going to take that off as well. And another lorry's just turned up. So I have taken the hedge cutter off. I did wash it first. It's Thursday afternoon and there's a lorry coming any minute. Well, there's 2 lorries coming in a minute. So yeah, I shall wash the tractor tomorrow. I've still got to take the wheel covers off. But whilst I'm waiting for the lorry, I'll go and write out a couple of passports as well actually whilst I'm waiting. I thought I'd see if I can change this mirror. I've got a couple of new mirror glasses. That's good. Smashed it up, hedge trimming. I'll chuck this in the bin. Next time I go hedge trimming, I'm probably just going to have to take the whole mirror off, which is annoying. Where's the new one? Yeah. Got a whole new piece. Plastic and all. Plug the wires in because they're heated mirrors. Don't push me, Eric. Easy as that. It's windy today. Well, it was windy yesterday, it's been windy today. And Friday's supposed to be even windier. Hopefully that doesn't fall out. So I've mixed up some petrol for the chainsaw, ready for some trees. And looks good. Can't get that one out, so I might just take the glass out of. I'll take the glass out of this plastic piece. Take that glass out of there. There's the wires. There is no wires. Ow, my finger. Plug that onto there. Job is a good one. Brand new mirror. Explosive cyclogenesis is what he just said on the news about the storm tomorrow. In the southwest, they're given a red weather warning, so that's slightly worrying for a lot of people, I would have thought. I bet by the time you were watching this, it would have all passed. I forgot to say that these oats are going to Tilbury docks. They're being exported, so they're going all the way to the other side of London. So they've got a fair old trek to go before they get to the boat. But yeah, also, can you see the what they call them, air pipe? What's it called? I'll think of the name in a minute for it. But yeah, it's gone wonky. Where I emptied the bin earlier, it came out the spout and made the, I can't remember the name of what they are. It made it go wonky. Pedestal. I think it's called a pedestal. We put the fans on the top and it sucks up the air, sucks the warm air out of the oats and cools the grain. The pedestal fell over. You can watch me doing my impression of World's Strongest Man now, look. Easy. They're actually pretty light. They're just awkward. They weigh nothing at all, really. Right, last one to load, and then we're done for the day. The second to last one has just left. Right, we've got to pick up our first culprit of the day. I'm on the farm drive at farm 1. These horse chestnuts, they're pretty knackered to be honest, they're old and dead. They just keep, like, half the tree just snaps off. Looks like somebody's driven around that one. We should be able to pick that up in one go, that's what we like. I'm going to put it on the bonfire. It's they'll wind. The time is. Let me look at my phone. It's 7:10. Yeah, and the wind has picked up quite a lot in the last half an hour. See if we can get this. So I think that this won't be the last one today. See if we can get this to the bonfire in one piece. Right, well we made it to the bonfire. The camera wouldn't turn on in time, so I couldn't video dropping it, but we made it in one piece. I'm still here, I haven't been blown away. It's Friday afternoon. Oh gosh, it's pretty bad out there. I don't know how these fir trees are staying up. That one's leaning a bit more every time. But yeah, I'm just back to this livestock trailer in the barn, out the wind, just checking the brakes on it. I think because the trailer's getting on a bit and it's never had a set of brakes, Simon wanted me just to give it a check over really. But because I think it's 2011, it said on the plate, and it's done quite a lot of miles. So yeah, that's what I'm doing this afternoon. In a minute, when it calms down a bit, I'm going to go out for a ride round and have a look, see if I can find any trees that are down. The brake shoes are pretty worn out. Well, they've got a little bit of life left in them, about 3 or 4 mil. But so probably just going to order a set of brake shoes for it and get it done. Get some use out of the new brakes. I don't know how well you can see all the way down the track, but there's a tree blocking the track. I'm not going to walk down there because it's still pretty windy and I'll have to walk under those trees, but that'll be one for next week.
We are actually on Milwaukee for that. It's been a while.
I found a way of taking the dog for a walk and not getting blown away. Riding the tractor. Eric doesn't seem to mind. He likes the run. I'm also having a quick look around for fallen trees, but I'm not seeing much, to be honest. So far so good, apart from that other one that was down that track. Yeah, that tree I was talking about the other day at farm 2, it's missing the top. And guess where it is? It's in the middle of the pond. Oh, that's a bit sad. I'll have to try and retrieve that. Stick it back on again. Looks like the blue sheet is still on. Just about. Alright, thanks for watching this video, guys. There's Eric, look. Sweet, I'm videoing on my phone. I can see myself, which I'm not used to. Yeah, I'm going home. And I no doubt you will see me next week, probably cutting up some trees with a chainsaw.